Hello, my name is Ethan, and welcome back to another episode of Path of Exile Harvest League 3.11. In this episode, I'm going to be talking about this character I leveled up. This is a Shadow Assassin, and I would call this a Twink because I used crazy leveling gear that you wouldn't normally have as a League starter. So this, what I created here and what I experimented with, was not a League starter. It's based around the idea of Hallow, which is a cluster jewel. I'll show you. And so if you don't have the currency to fund this, I wouldn't recommend copying it. But if you want to experiment with a fun way to level Shadow Assassin, I like Hallow Palm and could recommend it. But either way, let's get into the actual stuff I've set up for today. This was just the intro because I really want to make sure that people understand this is not like my normal League start video. This is not something I recommend with nothing. This is with stuff. Okay, now with stuff, I got a lot of stuff to show. I think I should start it off as a basic. Okay, so your Shadow Assassin. Assassin comes later. It's the Ascendancy. But you're starting as a Shadow and you want to level. Now, what I did is I went through tons and tons of leveling guides and looking at what other people do. And I found that Caustic Arrow at level 1 seemed pretty good. I actually hadn't ever tried it before, so most of this leveling was going to be just trying stuff for the first time, and then after trying a bunch of different options, I would then choose what I like the best. So I started with a level 1 Caustic Arrow, and I had a Silverbranch that I bought from trade for like 1C. So this is +1 to level of socketed bow gems. I didn't put it in the bow. I was using a tabula, and so I had Caustic Arrow, and then at level 4, the Shadow, you get Mirage Archer. So I was Caustic Arrow, Mirage Archer, and then it basically, as soon as you do this, it feels like you're a summoner build, you're a minion build, because you attack, and then you summon this Mirage Archer that attacks for you, and it's easy peasy. At level 8, I got lesser multiple projectiles, which with Mirage Archer, oh my god, it was just crazy clear. Everything was dying, and it's really like the degen on the ground. This chaos dot damage on the ground, the caustic ground, is where you get all your damage. So I added void manipulation after in the POB through testing, where during leveling I think I had some useless gem that I didn't need, but just focusing on that chaos damage, you got some pretty good starter damage. It's pretty ridiculous. So the reason why we start with a Caustic Arrow and these 3 bows, we have a Silverbranch, a Quill Rain at level 5, and we have a Storm Cloud at level 8. The reason why I start bow is because we don't actually have, if I show you back at the tree, we don't have Hallow Palm technique until we have 13 points. So you need 13 points. This is the fastest pathing, and you will find that the dex that you get from the pathing will help you after for more damage, because it says 14 to 20 added attack physical damage per 10 dex while you're encumbered. So you really want to have high dex in this build for the Hallow Palm technique to really take advantage. So now we're going to assume you're past the leveling of bows. Bows with this shit, buying these bows and using that link that I showed, in the beginning up to level 12, you're going to be pretty much one-shotting everything and two-shotting bosses, and you're going to love it. I promise. The beginning was really thought through, and it's amazing, and I love it. And then we go into the next step. So imagine you've got 13 points. You got your Hallow Palm technique acquired, GG easy. You take off the bow, because the way this Hallow Palm technique works is, it's a 1 with nothing small cluster jewel, and the 1 with nothing small cluster jewel gives you Hallow Palm technique. Hallow Palm technique is you count as dual wielding while you're encumbered. Basically all of this matters based on encumbered. So while you're encumbered, you get 60% more attack speed and the big damage. And so encumbered is not having a weapon, glove, and so then you're encumbered, and now you count as dual wielding and deal 1 billion damage. So you can see that no usable thing is in place for your Caustic Arrow, but at level 12 we have Sunder. So as you can tell, The damage is ridiculous. Imagine I was walking up to bosses and one-shotting them at level 12, like every boss. So what I did in the beginning was I didn't start with a glove because I forgot that I could use a glove before going this one with nothing. But I'll go through the items real quick. We started with a gold rim with 40% all res. We have a tabula +1 because it still stayed level 1. We have 7 league step for 50% move speed. I was using a Karui ward at level 5. I didn't have an Ami, and then I used a Karui ward at level 5 for my bow up until level 12. I allocated freedom of movement. Freedom of movement is this point, and it was pointed out in a guide that it's not bad. 10% chance to gain phasing for 4 seconds on kill. It's pretty good. I like it. I liked it. It was a lot of fun. I tried out some dude's recommendation. It wasn't that bad. It was a pretty free anoint in-game. I'll show you what it is because it's funny. So in-game, it's like a violet sepia clear. It's super cheap. It doesn't matter. It's amazing. So, that was at level 5. At level 20, I planned to switch to the Ascendancy, but for now, at level 5, we're just sitting on this 30 strength, 25 dex Karui ward, and I had Parandis signets for mana regen and the obviously extra XP and the Scrolls of Wisdom Kappa. I used Darkness and Throne, Stygian Vice. I figured it'd be one of the best spells, and I didn't spend too much on these jewels either. I went for Dex, Life, Int, and Strength, Dex, Life. So in total, this belt was, well, when I'm encumbered, 2.4k. And is this using the right Sunder? Yeah. Weird that it has Impale. Okay. And that's big damage. Big damage. Look at that dex, look at the life. It's pretty cool. Stygian, this Darkness and Throne stuff. And we went for the one with nothing. And then these are my flasks after the fact. This is just what I randomly got throughout leveling that I kind of went for. Instant life recovery on a Divine Flask. This was increased duration for Basalt. The LE res doesn't matter. Immune to freeze on this mana flask I wanted. Poison immune on the silver. And a move speed on the Quicksilver. I didn't really roll them too much. I just went for simple, like, small utility things. Didn't cover everything. And then I want to go through. So at level 12... to 18, I used, well, we added Flame Dash at 10 and Enduring Cry at 10. These are just when you get them, and you use them for the rest of the game. 12 to 18 after getting the Hollow Palm, so make sure you have your Hollow Palm technique acquired. You start using Sunder, and so Sunder I put Ruthless, Onslaught, Maim, Life Gain on hit. You can use anything you want, really, like any extra thing that doesn't make it cost too much. You're using quality of life rings anyways, so like you should be fine. You can switch to a Praxis at 22 and you'll never have mana problems again, but for now that's our Sunder. It was really nice to have the life gain on hit. It was nice to have Maim. It was nice to have Onslaught, and it was already one-shotting, so who cares? We didn't need more damage. It's ridiculous what we're doing. So then 12 to 28 we get Ancestral Protector, and Ancestral Protector gets replaced by the Fel Ancestral Warchief later. The Sunder gets replaced by Cyclone. We also have another Sunder set up. But at 16 you get Flesh and Stone Maim, so you won't have to run the Maim on the Sunder anymore. You can run Flesh and Stone Maim, so that the Flesh and Stone and Maim combo and they make a Super Maim if you see how they highlight, and it shows that it works with it. And so I'll show you the next step of the skill tree. So this was the first 13 points. At 25, I grabbed Phase, Acro, Extra Life, Life Gain on Kill. These are just good points that I skipped while going for my Hollow Palm technique, similar to my Summoner stuff that I did before. And then we would see that my damage is huge. We go click on the Ancestral Protector. Look at this damage on an Ancestral Protector 1 link. We can see the Sunder, 18 to 24. So at 18 when I put it, well, obviously these are level 20 gems, but the point is that they're all 20. I'm not like, okay. So this isn't obviously the damage. It's if, yeah, just in case, because someone might think it. I wanted to clarify. And so the difference here is at 18, you're able to put in faster attacks, melee fizz, and you could add concentrated effect. You could have added it before, I guess, earlier, because I'm pretty sure that it's not too high of a level. Let me check if it is 18 real quick, because it would be a big It is 18. That's why I added it at 18. There you go. Okay, so this is what you can do at 18 for huge damage, and you still have the life gain on hit. You could technically keep the onslaught in here if you wanted instead of life gain on hit, but I liked the life gain, so I didn't have to life flask. I just walk up to a monster, smack it, and it dies. 2-shot bosses, like, yeah, during the 18 at 28, you're gonna get Pride at 24. You keep it in the build. Dread Banner at 24. You keep it in the build for Impale. And Vile Ancestral Warchief replaces the Ancestral Protector. And Vile Ancestral Warchief's better because you can save up 2 of these totems, and the totems will leap around and jump and have a long range attack, and they're really fucking cool. I love them. At 28, you replace the Sunder. Goodbye. You don't have to, but this is what I did. I replaced Sunder with Cyclone, Infused Channeling, Melee Fizz, Faster Attacks, Concentrated Effect, and I didn't have an extra thing. I put Culling Strike here, and Culling Strike, originally I put it with my Ancestral Protector at level, whatever the level you get the Culling Strike at, but instead I put it here for now because I had an extra spot. And then at 31, this changes completely, so watch this. At 31, you get Brutality, Pulverize, Fortify, Impale. You get 4 gems at 31. 31 is a gigantic spike for Cyclone, and then you're still using Infused Channeling because it's Fizz damage reduction. It's amazing in our 0 armor build that we had because we used all uniques. And then, so you're finishing off with, I wanted to make sure you're not confused. It's very simple. Because we're a Hollow Palm technique build, we don't have a weapon, we don't have a glove. So our only links are our chestplate, helmet, boot. That's it. Wait, there's only 3 things in your build? Yep. So the 6 link Cyclone, the 4 link of auras, the Flesh and Stone works with the Mim, right? And then extra 4 link is just Flame Dash, Enduring Cry, and then like I showed, you can use Ancestral Warchief, Vile Ancestral Warchief. I should not mess this up in the guide because people will then make a mistake because I made a mistake. Let's fix that so it's saved in the guide. Good, good. Vile Ancestral Warchief works with Culling Strike, and your Flame Dash will also work with Culling Strike, which is pretty cool. I thought that was actually really neat. Cool little thing. So this is as good as my summoner leveling guide, but obviously this requires actual items. This is a Twink leveling guide for melee instead of being some summoner god tier build that just doesn't need anything. Yeah. So this is the 43 and normal lab, so ended up getting the extra life up here, came down for this life, started coming towards the dex node because we're a dex stacking build. So at this point you're able to I'll point out the extra items. So I pointed out Astromantis. You could switch one of these rings at 24 to the Lahoop of All. My second one's better than my first one. It's 29 all attributes, 25% increased damage, 1 to 4 fizz damage, and 27 all res. Disgusting. Then we have this Praxis ring, which lowers the cost of skills by 8. Which is really useful for obviously trying to make it so you have no mana problems anymore. So I lower the mana cost, and I have ridiculous recovery through this ring. Like, it's regen 4.7 mana per second, and I also still had a mana pot the entire time I'm buying Crimson on bother. Okay, had that. 8% of damage taken is mana gained over 4 points. Then you get mana. Praxis rings are sick. One of these solved my mana problems. It made my Cyclone cost 0. So, I think you need at least 1. So you have to balance the rest of the shit around the 1 Praxis. So you're going to have some LE res issues, I think. But yeah, at 43, you get that, and you go get your first point, Opportunistic. So something funny I found out is you can play this build. And what happens is the Cyclone, I want to show it. Under Calc, Cyclone. When you don't have a main hand weapon, you have no crit. So you have no crit, and you're assassin, so this is like the worst thing you could possibly do. But I just wanted to make, like, it's still a thing. It still was so powerful, but it clearly doesn't synergize with I just saved a point. Fixed. What the hell? How did I do that? Okay, so at 58, I got the extra dex, I got the life. We go down to here for extra life. We're really secretly pathing all the way across because we want something else. What is that something else, you may wonder? Dude, I have an extra point saved on every single page. Oh, no. Well, this is good that I look at it and now it's saved on the new one. Pog. So I came over here. We finally got Call to Arms. We've been using Enduring Cry this whole time, and the Enduring Cry up to that point was a cast time. It had a cast time, and 0.8 seconds. So instead of 0.8 second cast time every 5 seconds, instant. So you don't get stuck for 0.8 seconds, which is really huge. It's really huge. It would almost turn out that you're going 20% faster almost, just because you're not getting stuck using this goddamn ability every 5 seconds. Yeah, I think that's a no-brainer, isn't it? Okay, so then, next, I'm glad I looked back at my tree when we're reviewing it like this, and I saw the extra saved point, because people would be like, what the hell is that, Ethan? Oh yeah, maybe I should, whatever. I left the node power on too, that's fine. Extra life. So here is where, with the Warcry, you can get this, and I came up to here. Then I came across, and I wanted the extra melee strike range because I'm unarmed, and I'm using Cyclone, so I wanted it to be bigger. Got the extra life, and then I found out Art of the Gladiator is 21,000 damage in our POB. Yeah, and it ignores all movement penalties from armor. Yeah, that's pretty good. So then, come up here, get some extra life. We're at 87 points. I forgot to say, at 70, we get the extra lab. You could take Unstable Infusion to start gaining crit power charges when you don't crit, but you never crit, so even the power charges don't do anything. I can show you in the... Hold up. Wait a minute. Let's say infusing, sure. You got power charges. Doesn't do anything. Maim. It's already on. It auto works. You could put it against Cyrus if you really wanted to. It's kind of funny. I love Impale. Okay. So then, the 70 with the Cruel Lab, we got 87. I already showed 109. Fills out the life wheel. Now we start grabbing extra stuff. So it's like, oh god, 109. How you gonna do that, dude? Yeah. Ali Res. Jewel Socket. This 3 for Impale. You get this 2. Big damage. 45,000 damage in a single. 432,000 damage. We get 2 extra Jewel Sockets here. The extra dex here. Get the extra 3 points here. Get the extra point here. Big damage. Look, 28,000 DPS. This 3 points. 39. Oh, that was 39,000. This is 70,000. Disgusting. 116. Oh yeah, that was End Merc. Merc got us Deadly Infusion, but again, we don't crit. Maybe that'll work now. Maybe if I get the power charges now with the 4. Yeah, now the crit works. Look, now I have crit. You just need a Deadly Infusion. Ooh, 6.5 times 1.97. Amazing. Did you see the DPS increase, dude? Wow. Okay, we'll stop that. But yeah, you can do that on the next part, and then the last one, 116. Whoops. 116. I forgot to show it. Mistwalker. This is why I go through my own stuff with you guys. We spend 4 points here on Swift Skewering. We got 3 points here. Was already from before, I think. Where else? 3 points here on Gemini. So just more big damage. We're at 602,000 damage. Hollow Palm technique is busted. And then at this point you'd be 93. So let's assume 93 in the POB. It puts up the enemy armor on Cyrus apparently when you showed that. So it lowers your DPS. But we see here that, yeah, 539. That's pretty cool. Either way, I hope you guys do enjoy this leveling guide. I hope you enjoy my tree and what I did with the Shadow Assassin. It's pretty funny to level it like this because, like I said, unarmed, having no crit is like, what the hell is this, dude? What did I do? Oops. This isn't obviously the best way to level. This is just, if you wanted to try this, it's pretty funny. I also noticed I left this point here, which then led into me doing this, so there you go. Look at how that worked out. Either way, everything's good. I've put in every single level, every single skill. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Hope you have a lot of fun doing this. Let me put the stuff back to the basic so that when I save this, people will have it correct. Let's revert this to the 13. Why is that happening? Alright, thank you guys for watching. Thanks for hanging out. I hope this was helpful. I hope you, so I forgot to mention, the reason we leveled up a Shadow Assassin, the main reason is, we're going to be trying to make a Herald of Thunder Assassin, and so the best way, I just wanted people, when I asked how should I level my Shadow Assassin, they all said, Hollow Palm Technique, Hollow Palm Technique. They wanted me to try it, so I tried it, and now we have this experience under our belt that this was something we did. Last but not least, like I said, the Bows, Silverbranch, Quill Rain, Storm Cloud, my early Sunder, it's all in the POB, so I don't have to go through it. I showed the rings. Oh, these two belts, in case you didn't want to run the Stygian, the Darkness and Throne Stygian Vice with the two Dex and Life Jewels, you could run a Wurm's Molt, or you could run a Meginord's Girdle. They're basically the same thing. 7 League Step for move speed, Karui Ward, our 4-link setup of the Caustic Arrow. I ran Dash in the beginning for a little bit for fun, and then I swapped at the end to this boot for more res instead of that move res. It was to make up for the Katava, and I think I'm finally balanced, yeah. It's because I switched the skill tree to take the extra res. Either way, thank you guys for watching. Thanks for the support. I can't do this without you guys. I'm going to take this opportunity to thank my Patreon and my YouTube members who financially support the channel. Thank you guys for all the support. I can't do this without you guys. Thank you to anyone new who joins the Patreon or the YouTube members today, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye!